Hi, I have a devotional I want to read to you all today. And this devotional is from Andrew Murray, and it's from April 9th, and it's titled, Why Could We Not? And the scripture he uses for this one is Matthew 17, verse 21. Howbeit this kind of demon goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. The disciples had often cast out demons, but here they had been powerless. They asked the Lord what the reason might be. His answer is very simple: you didn't have enough faith. How is it that we cannot live the life of unbroken fellowship with Christ that the Scripture promises? Simply because of our unbelief. We do not realize that faith must accept and expect that God will, by His almighty power, fulfill every promise He has made. We do not live in that utter helplessness and dependence on God alone, which is the very essence of faith. We are not strong in the faith, fully persuaded that what God has promised He is able and willing to perform. But what is the reason why this faith is so often lacking? But this kind of demon won't leave unless you have prayed and fasted. To have a strong faith in God requires a life in close touch with Him by persistent prayer. We cannot call up faith at our bidding. It needs close communion with God through prayer. It needs the denial of self, the sacrifice of a worldly heart. Just as we need God to give us faith and power, He too needs our whole being to be utterly given up to Him. Prayer and fasting are essential to this. There are different types of fasts that you can do, and not all of them involve abstaining from food or, different activities or whatever. And the most important thing to fast from is to fast from sin, to abstain from sinning willfully. And in a general sense, fasting is separating oneself from the world and serving the Lord with all of your heart. Now I want to read a couple of scriptures in Isaiah chapter 58, verses 6 and 7 that talks about this fast that doesn't have to do with abstaining from food. Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh. The commitment here that pleases God involves active compassion for those who are oppressed or in need. Helping others in practical ways is one of the best ways to show love for the Lord. And true fasting is demonstrated in a sacrificial love on behalf of other people. The principle communicated here is that the closer I get to God, the more conscious I will become of the needs of others. So if there's something in your life that you've been struggling with in prayer, if no matter what it is, it could be someone, that you've been praying for. It could be something you've been praying for yourself. It could be some kind of affliction you have, or addiction, bad habits, whatever. The list can just go on and on. If you're struggling with certain things, not seeing your prayers being answered, you need to go before the Lord Excuse me. I'm under a severe attack from the enemy this morning. He's trying to keep me from speaking. Please pray that I finish this. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, if you're under attack from any circumstances, go before the Lord in prayer. And if he tells you to fast from food, then do so. But again, it doesn't have to be food involved in fasting. Our fast is to love one another as the Lord has commanded us to do so, and to do good deeds unto others, to show the love of Christ to others as Christ has loved us. And that, again, is true fasting, is showing love for others. So check your love walk. If you're in strife with someone, that could be a very good reason why your prayers are not being answered. We must have forgiveness in our hearts, be willing to forgive others when they wrong us. And sometimes it's very difficult, but the Lord will help you if you're struggling with this particular issue. And I've had to do that in the past myself. And the Lord, by His grace, helped me to forgive certain individuals that really did me, some harm. And He can do so for you as well. We have to release any unforgiveness that's in our hearts. For if we do not forgive others, the scriptures say that the Lord will not forgive us. So may the Lord bless you and keep you, and we'll talk to you later.